Hello, and welcome back to the Northwest Naturalist Notebook. I'm your host, Kirsten, the Northwest Naturalist. Let's jump in. Today, we continue our series on nature journaling is learning with I is for imagine. When we nature journal, there are two things that are really important to the practice: curiosity and creativity. And what better way to add a little extra joy to our pages than to combine them? When we're young, we often have really vivid imaginations where we can dream up all kinds of amazing situations and scenarios. It actually plays a really important role in how we play with one another and how we begin to engage with and learn about the world. But the older we get, we oftentimes begin to focus a lot more on the facts or on making arguments. But what if, regardless of our age, we were to use our nature journals to let our imaginations run wild? For a lot of nature journalers, we're drawn to something specific in our environment, whether it's the plants in our own backyard or birds visiting a local lake. The more time we spend out observing, the more we begin to see connections between things, and that leads to more questions. And for a lot of us, we want those questions to have answers. For some questions, we may be able to find the answer simply by spending more time observing. For example, an empty bird feeder might be due to an acrobatic squirrel in search of a good meal. But other times, no matter how much time we spend observing something, we don't find the answer we're looking for. And that's where imagination can step in. So let's talk about two different ways that our imagination might show up in our nature journal: finding possible causes for something that's occurred, or telling a story about something. The first way we might use imagination in our nature journal is through the practice of brainstorming and really opening ourselves to generating or thinking about as many possible reasons or explanations for what we've been observing. When we spend time thinking about all of the possibilities, it really opens us to noticing more, wondering more, and stretching our skills as artists, nature journalers, and naturalists. The second way we can use our imagination in our nature journal is through the practice of storytelling. Stories can be grounded in what we've actually observed and a way of trying to explain what we think happened. Or they can be a little bit fantastical and use what we've observed to inspire something more interesting. In Amy Tan's book, The Backyard Bird Chronicles, she tells stories chronicling the change of the birds in her own backyard, along with examples of nature journal pages from her own notebook, compared to, say, Beatrix Potter, who wrote more fantastical stories inspired by the nature observations she made and the creatures she encountered. We can also use poetry as a way of telling a story that's inspired by the natural world around us. And that brings us to this episode's challenge, playtime. Tell a short story. Explore the possibilities. Let your imagination connect your observations in a new way. Don't worry so much about whether it's correct or not. That's not the point. Nature journaling is about connecting with the world around us through our senses. So why not have a little fun with it? So until next time, I'm Kirsten, the Northwest Naturalist, wishing you happy exploring.